All right, and joining me to discuss BTC price and other Bitcoin news is our week in review panel, CoinDesk Managing Editor of Technology, Christy Harkin in Toronto, and Managing Editor of Markets, Brad Cowan in Austin. Hello, Christy. Hello. Ooh, very festive. Hello, Brad. Very, very festive for the occasion. Okay, wait. So we have to guess. What are you guys? What is going on here? First, okay,
Brad's
Christy.
got hair.
Yeah.
What did you say, Christy?
The 70s.
Say you've got hair, Brad.
80s.
The 80s.
Yeah, I've been binging on vitamin E for the past week. Well, Bitcoin's been in a slump. I've been sprouting.
Okay, can you guess what I am or who I am?
Oh, you've got a thing there. Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Indeed. So you are old school Bitcoin? Flapper Bitcoin?
The Bitcoin white paper.
Oh my Lord.
All right, moving on. Let's take a look at the markets. Okay, Brad, so Bitcoin dipped on Thursday, seems already above $62,000. Was that just a healthy correction? And we did see, El Salvador bought the dip, 420 BTC.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. I mean, we hit that all-time high. I guess it's been a bit of time last week, and we have retreated a little bit since then. The enthusiasm and excitement over the debut of those ETFs that was kind of pushing the market up last week. Some of that hype has come out a little bit. Maybe we had some selling at these levels since we had not seen that all-time high for, 6 months. And so we hit that point, and some people may have taken that opportunity to take some chips off. But we've had a little bit of a retreat, but now it looks like we're popping back up a little bit. It still looks pretty bullish.
Yeah, we have seen some profit taking for sure, but overall, there's a lot of hodling going on, a lot of holding by miners, as well as a lot of exchange outflows, which could indicate that people are accumulating Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, that's what the blockchain data shows that some of the balances are coming off of exchanges, and translated to English, that means that people are taking their money off of the exchanges potentially because they don't have any intention to sell anytime soon, or at least that's kind of the default assumption, the way a lot of people will read it. So yeah, it's a good sign. People are still pretty confident.
Yeah, I also mentioned the options expiring. Do you see any volatility coming out of that?
I think that was actually this morning that happened. Omkar Godbole, our senior markets analyst in Mumbai, has written about this. And he had said that the quote, max pain point was around $55,000. And that's, the idea there is that some traders might try to push the market down because that'll put their out of the money options in the money, and that didn't happen. So sometimes we do see these big option expiries pass, and there's kind of a relief rally in some ways, and that might be what we're seeing today. Is just the fact that we didn't see any kind of a sell-off today into that options expiry. Things looking pretty stable going here into the end of the week. That maybe think that probably is giving a little extra lift to the market today.
Mm-hmm. I also noticed Shib is going out of control. A lot of people talking about Shib in terms of Google Trends. Everyone is searching for it. It's third behind Bitcoin and ETH. So, it's a dog-themed meme coin. Does it mean that the market is a bit frothy right now?
It could, I mean, it's interesting just how we go through these little mini market cycles throughout crypto markets. Bitcoin is the biggest, but it's not the only game in town. And people trade all kinds of stuff in crypto markets. And Shib definitely was the moment of the week for Shib, reaching a new all-time high, market cap north of $10 billion, taking on Dogecoin. Everybody was talking about Shib. So, I mean, that obviously, in some ways that does compete a little bit with Bitcoin for some of the enthusiasm and the hype. And then it also kind of makes people scratch their heads and say, what is going on here? Bitcoin, again, people say it's the safe crypto. It's so hard for people to think about that in traditional markets, but it is kind of, it's like the safe haven among cryptos. So if something like Shib is going crazy, then that might be a sign of just general ebullience in crypto markets that may have, maybe that took a little bit of the wind out of Bitcoin's momentum that we've seen over the past couple months or a couple weeks.
All right. Christy, I don't know if you have any Shib comments that you might want to add to that.
Well, I really like the comment that Brad just made about Bitcoin being the safe option. I think, though, that what's interesting to me about it is in that it is the safe option. It's also the dull option, which is what makes it the safe option. You don't get a lot of hype and craziness going on in terms of new stuff coming along in Bitcoin. It's very tried. It's true to its roots, and it takes a long time to make changes in it, which is a feature, not a flaw.
Yeah. A long time to develop for sure. And one thing that took a long time to get through approval from the SEC was the ETFs, of course. And this is the second week that some of them, that the first Bitcoin-linked ETF has been trading. And on the New York Stock Exchange, Volt Equity has a Bitcoin-focused ETF that was launched this week. Van Eck also has a Bitcoin futures ETF that was approved by the SEC. In terms of ProShares, BITO, on its second week, it's been shown that it doesn't exactly track the price of Bitcoin so well. And folks have been making comparisons between BITO and GBTC. GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, has been tracking Bitcoin a little bit better. Note to viewers, Grayscale is a sister company to CoinDesk. But Brad, I'm wondering if you have some comments on that discrepancy.
Well, what we're seeing is, I mean, this BITO just started trading last week, and so it's still early days for that. But already, we can see what some commentators have been warning about, which is essentially tracking error, that the Bitcoin futures ETF is not going to track the price of Bitcoin perfectly. I was just reading something this morning that it's underperformed, that the ETF has underperformed Bitcoin by 1.2% just in the past week. So if you start to, extrapolate that out over a year, and, which is, you probably can't do, but you could do some of that because of kind of this weirdness in the structure of futures markets and how these ETFs work. And, people say that ends up working like a giant fee. If you buy a Bitcoin futures ETF and a year from now it's underperformed by 15%, it's like you paid a 15% fee. And Grayscale, has this discount and premium. It bounces around a lot. It's sort of hard to compare that at this point, but some people are seeing a better deal in GBTC at a 20 or 15% discount than going into this one of these futures-based ETFs that people say are guaranteed to underperform at least a little bit versus Bitcoin.